All right, students. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you the procedure for 3.5 lab bacterial transformation. And so we're going to go through these steps. Here you have all the science words, all these pieces that I asked you to translate ahead of time in case you did not know any of the words. And then we're going to go through this procedure together. So what we did is we had two people in the group be the experimenters. So that means that they were the ones actually doing the experiment. One person was taking pictures at each step of the experiment. And then the last person was taking notes as to why they were doing each step. And for that piece, you needed your little cards that show you what each part of the experiment is for. So here are our little cards here, and you can use these to help you and guide you as you go through this process. So we're going to start with this. So first, anytime we do a lab, we need to put on our protective equipment. So we'll put on some gloves and some goggles to make sure that we remain clean and not contaminated. We do not want to get bacteria on ourselves or on anyone else. So my gloves on, and I'm going to put some goggles as well. So here are my gloves, and here are my goggles. I got some funny looking goggles, but got both of those on to make sure that everyone stays clean and you want to see. There we go. Okay, so let's get started. So number one, it says use a marker to label both the top end of the microtube and the side of the microtube in this first step. So we have two microtubes that don't have any labels, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the information here on those tubes. So on one tube, we're going to write plus, and the other one we're going to put minus. So let's see. So for this first tube, I'm going to put minus DNA in the table number. So minus, and let's say I'm table 3. So I'll put minus and a 3. And on the side, I'll put minus DNA 3. On the other one, I'm going to put plus 3, right? Plus 3. And here I'm going to put DNA or plus DNA table 3. Great. So we have both of those there. All right. So we did the first step. So we check off on our procedure every time we do the step. We did both the minus and the plus. Great. Okay. Now what it says is we're going to put these two tubes in ice bath. So here is our ice bath. In this case, your ice bath was a little bit smaller, but this is our ice bath. It is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bath with ice. So we're going to put both of those tubes, both the plus and the minus, we're going to put both of those into our ice bath. So both of them are now inside the ice bath. Great. Okay. We have done step 2, so we'll check it off. Step 3 says use a P1000 micropipette to add 300 microliters of calcium chloride to both microtubes. So here it even shows me how the number should look like on my micropipette. So let me get my P1000. Here's my P1000, and I know it's P1000 because it has an 1000 on the front. It also has the blue here on top, as we talked about in our class. So let me adjust this. We want 300, so it should be 0300. So let's go down. 0300. There we go. So we have 300 microliters, and I'm going to put some calcium chloride. That's the one that's labeled CC, right? Calcium chloride. If I go here, calcium chloride, CC is right here. So 300 microliters of calcium chloride, and I'm going to put it in both of the tubes that are in the ice. So let me take 300 microliters out. All right, and then I find the tube that says plus, add it to that one. Back in the ice, and then I find the tube that says minus, and I do the same. Okay, awesome. So that's step 3. We can check step 3 off of our list. We also want to throw away our micropipette in a waste container. This is my waste container. All right. So let's see. That's step 3. This is why you do this in groups, because it's a little harder when you're doing it. Okay. So it says keep most microtubes in the ice bath. All right, they are in the ice bath. It says use a loop to swipe a small amount of bacteria and put that bacteria in the minus DNA microtube. So your teacher came around and brought some bacteria right here. Yummy. We take a loop, scrape some outside. We're going to put it in the microtube that says minus DNA. Remember, this is very gentle. We just scrape a little bit off. That's plenty. We grab the tube that says minus DNA, and we're going to put it right in there. Mix it around a little bit. And then I'm going to put this into my waste beaker that has some Clorox to keep it disinfected. Nice. All right. So let's get this. We did 5, 6, and 7. So now we'll get a new loop. We're going to put DNA. We're going to put we're going to put bacteria now in the microtube that says plus DNA. Get a new loop. Swipe some bacteria. I'm going to put this in the one that says minus. Okay. I'll put this loop in the waste beaker. Okay. So when we mix in science, we don't mix just by shaking. We do what's called flicking. So we take our index finger and we give it a few little flicks to make sure everything in there is nice and mixed up. And we'll do the same with the other one. Grab it and we'll flick. All right. Okay. So we mix the bacteria into the microtubes. Okay, now it says use a P20 micropipette to add 10 microliters of plasma DNA to a plus DNA microtube. And I got plasma DNA. Plasma DNA is the P, letter P. So we'll find a microtube that says the letter P. And we're going to add 10 microliters, which is a very small amount. So you'll notice that here it says a P20. In our class, we don't have a P20, we have a P10. The P10s work great for us because that's exactly the amount we need. We need 10. And in a P10, the numbers are 1, 0, 0, 0 for 10. So go ahead and put on a tip. We're going to take 10 microliters of this plasma. It's a very, very small amount. Take 10 microliters, and we're going to put it in the tube that says plus DNA. Step 13, it says we're going to put the microtubes in the ice bath for 10 minutes. So you can use whoever is not your experimenter and set a timer here for 10 minutes on their phone and wait for that time to go off. Wait for those 10 minutes. Okay, so 10 minutes later, what we're now going to do is, so we have left them in the ice bath for 10 minutes. We're going to check off that step. All right, it says now to bring the ice bath with both microtubes to 42 degrees Celsius water bath. So I'm going to take my microtubes and I'm going to move over to the water bath that is 42 degrees Celsius. So here's our water bath, again, 42 degrees Celsius. This is 42.2. It's okay. So we'll put it there for, we'll put these microtubes in here for 50 seconds. So let me grab my timer as well. 50 seconds. So we'll put these in here. Immediately before the timer kicks in. So we're going to leave it here in this warm water bath. So what do we do? Some bacteria will allow for DNA to enter the cell membrane. The bacteria have a cell membrane in the cell wall. It takes 5 minutes to go inside of the bacteria. So what we're doing right now is we're talking with the All right. So after 2 minutes, we're going to take both microtubes. It says we're going to so we've now done it for 2 minutes. Now we're going to take both microtubes and put them in a microtube rack. So let's grab a microtube rack, and we're going to put both microtubes on this rack. Take them from the ice bath and put them on this microtube rack. So our plus DNA and our minus DNA. Okay. Great. All right. Awesome. Okay, so now that we've done that, it says use a P1000 micropipette. Use a P1000 micropipette to add 300 microliters of LB broth to both microtubes. Use a new micropipette for each microtube. So I'm going to grab my LB broth, as it says here in the front, LB. So LB broth, LB right here. I'm going to add 300 microliters to both of those tubes. So let's grab my P1000. Add 300 microliters of LB broth to each tube. So open up both of these tubes. And again, make sure that you use a different tip each time because you don't want to contaminate anything. Take your LB broth, and we'll add 300 microliters to each tube. All right. So both of my tubes now have LB broth. This is bacteria food, that allows the bacteria to grow. So now it says to mix the bacteria. We're going to mix, we're going to give it a little flick. Flick, some flicks, some flicks. Flick again. Flick, 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 flick. Okay, great. Awesome. So now we've flicked, we've done to step 20. So now we're going to take both microtubes. For 5 minutes at 37 degrees. So let's go over to the incubator. I'm going to put it in here for 5 minutes. 37 degrees. I'm going to put these in here for 5 minutes. Let me set my timer for 5. All right, 5-minute timer starting now. All right, so I'll check back up on them in 5 minutes. So after 5 minutes have passed, I'm going to take these back out. I'm going to take them back to my lab station. And continue with our procedure. After we left them for 5 minutes, we're going to confirm that we have 2 agar plates. So here we have 2 agar plates. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the agar plates over to the bottom part. This is the bottom, this is the top. We're going to write 2 things. So on one, we're going to write plus DNA, class, and table number. So on 1, 2, I'm going to write plus DNA. Let's say I'm class A. And I'm table 3. The other one, minus DNA, class A, and table 3. Great. We've done these, 20, 21, 22, and then 23. So now we're going to turn the agar plates back over to the top. We're going to first remove the lid of the tube that says minus DNA. So this one here says, or the top of the agar plate that says minus DNA, which is this one. Take the top off. I'm going to take a P200. So we don't have a P200. We have a P1000. And fortunately for us, our P1000 has the range that we need it goes from 100 microliters to 1,000. So we can set this to 150, 0.150. And lock it back down. We're going to add 150 microliters from the tube that says minus onto the agar plate that says minus. Right on here. Okay. And again, we toss every tip each time. All right, and put the lid back on. And we're going to do the same thing. So put the lid back on. Then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to remove the lid from the plate that says plus DNA, which is this one. And we're going to put bacteria from the one that says plus DNA onto here. 150 microliters. Put the lid back on. And now what it's asking us to do is it's saying to swirl the two agar plates so the bacteria can spread evenly. So we'll take the two agar plates and we can swirl them. I make a circular motion. Have them spread out, have them have plenty of space to grow. All right. So now we're going to tape the two plates together. So we'll put one on top of the other one. And I'm going to take a piece of tape. I'm going to tape the two plates together. And I'm going to label it with my class and my table. So again, I said that I was class A. I'm going to write class A. And table 3. Great. So I'm going to now bring these to the incubator. Take the agar plates to the incubator. They're kind of funky. They like to eat face down. So we're going to put them this way, put them in here. We'll wait a few days to see them grow. And that was our lab.